I now recognize Mr. Oslzewski from Maryland for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Ranking Member Velasquez, and Administrator Loeffler for joining us today. We've heard a lot from you and my colleagues today about both DOGE and the, as Elon Musk describes it, the disgusting abomination bill. So I'll focus my questions on those two topics today. I'll start with your prior service in the Senate, Administrator. You acknowledge that individual provisions like the no tax on tip can be acted on independently, as the Senate did through unanimous consent, right? It's a yes or no, right? You acknowledge that can happen.
Congressman,
And if you can't say yes or no, we'll say I don't know, and that's fine too.
I'll leave it to the Senate. Yeah.
So you can, because they did. So I know it might have been a little while, but so I just want to be clear. I didn't vote against the disgusting abomination bill because of taxation on businesses. I and my colleagues would have supported that, as the Senate did on an independent provision. I voted against that bill because it guts health care for millions of Americans. I voted against that bill because it takes away food supports for veterans and hungry kids and seniors, and it hurts the farmers in my district. I voted against that bill because it raises our country's deficit by trillions of dollars. I voted against that bill because it now says a child who is 7 is no longer a dependent child, Administrator. I voted against that bill because it weakens our courts. I voted against that bill because it is a reverse Robin Hood nightmare for our country. So there are provisions in this bill that on their own, me and my colleagues would be happy to support. So I have to ask you, and again, you can say yes or no, or I don't know, pass, but those are your options. Do you support the provisions that reduce Medicaid?
I support the provisions that reduce Medicaid, waste,
Okay.
fraud, and
Do
abuse,
you support
which
the
we
provisions
know
that
is
remove
happening, so
food
that
supports?
people who deserve to have Medicaid,
Do you
it
support?
needs to be there for
do you
them.
support provisions that remove food supports?
I support removing people who are gaming the
So
system.
you support
who should
you
not
support
have-
here's an easy one. Do you support the provision that makes a 7-year-old child no longer considered dependent?
I support provisions that ensure that it is there for the people that need it, and the people that are gaming the system.
I
are
don't
not in
think
the
a single mother who has a 7-year-old child who's now being forced to work
I
is
don't think
gaming
the
the
premise of
system,
your
reclaiming
question
my
is
time. Do you
accurate.
support the provision that weakens the courts?
I support this bill because it reduces taxes, it cuts spending, and it ensures that waste,
And we can
fraud,
do
and
all
abuse
those
and
things
federal
respectfully,
problem
Administrator,
programs are
without
eliminated.
doing all of these things that harm Americans in deeply painful ways. Turning now to DOGE, Madam Chair, I'd like to enter into the record an article from Fox News, that highlights the efforts that I led as Baltimore County Executive to lead $700 million of efficiency in local government.
Without objection.
Thank you. So just a few questions about DOGE, since we're talking about how great it is, and I've proven it's possible without firing people and without harming programs. What kind of vetting have you done with DOGE employees? What does that look like?
The DOGE team are employees of various federal agencies like the SBA. They had the same vetting that any government employee would have. But I'd like to point out that there are employees of the federal government just recently who were arrested for food stamps fraud to the tune of $66 million.
Interesting you say that, though, Administrator, because DOGE staff have actually been reported to not be subject to the same vetting and security clearance procedures as other federal employees. It's been reported that DOGE staff has circumvented chains of custody in their work. Do you know if the DOGE members working at the SBA have small business expertise?
I know that our DOGE partner does, and he is an employee of
I would
the
love to
SBA.
see the resume of those individuals. And then where do the DOGE numbers come from? What loan programs and SBA systems contain the information that you're sharing in your press release? Do you know that information?
Our DOGE partners are authorized to access the systems that government employees are authorized to access. And
what systems are they? From which systems are we pulling this information?
Well, Congressman, we have 48 systems at the SBA. That's what they're helping us streamline to ensure that there's a single point of contact. Small businesses are not being served by having a massive number of technology systems that cost tens of millions of dollars a year to maintain. And so what they're doing is helping us serve small businesses better. I don't think any small businesses object to having better service, to having streamlined efficiency at this agency, which hasn't touched
And nor
them
do
for
I,
4
Administrator,
years.
but small businesses do object to reckless tariffs and having their employees kicked off health coverage and having hungry kids not have food in their mouths. And so I welcome you to the conversation. We support the provisions that will help our small businesses. And with that, Madam Chair, I yield back.